The following program is a Town of Colonie television production of the William K. Sanford Town Library.
Hello everyone, this is Diane LaCivita, and I'm thrilled to be with you yet again for another edition of Thinking Globally. We're part of the International Center of the Capital Region, an organization that's been around almost 60 years. Most recently, we've moved on to the campus of Siena College, so we are now part and resident in the town of Colonie. Our program really encompasses upstate New York, but we're thrilled to call Colonie our home. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about two upcoming projects or programs we're going to be initiating this spring. The first one is entitled Tastes of the World. It's going to be our second annual, and it's going to be held on March 26th at the Linda down in Albany. And with us is Mary Berry, one of our board members, one of our committee members, and one of the people, the driving force behind getting us organized for this particular event. So Mary, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Diane. I'm really happy to be here, and especially to be able to tell everyone about our program, Taste. It's our fundraiser for us, our major fundraiser, and the money that we raise helps us to support all the programs that we do all year round. So it's very important, and we're thrilled to be having it be our second annual one. It affords an opportunity for people to come to the Linda and taste food from different parts of the world, to have some drinks from different areas, and to mingle with people who are of like mind. It's very, very nice.
That's great, yes. You know, I think we should back up. I'm going to ask Mary to introduce herself. A lot of you might be familiar with Mary because she does an awful lot of volunteering in the Capital Region. But if you don't mind, can you give us a little intro about Mary Berry?
Certainly. I feel fortunate that I have retired. I'm an attorney, and I have retired, and now I have time to volunteer in 3 different organizations. And I have volunteered on a more limited basis with the International Center for probably 20 years. And now that I'm no longer working full-time, I can devote more of my time to the International Center. So I'm so pleased to be able to serve on the board and to help on different projects more in depth than before. And I like to think my other 2 volunteer opportunities that I do pursue with the League of Women Voters and also with Albany Law School, that often those 3 organizations can help each other out and participate in each other's programs, and that I'm happy to be the person that can introduce one program to the other.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you. And we're thrilled to have you on the board. You're such a tremendous asset.
Thank you.
And it's great because she still takes my phone calls when I ask her on things. So yes. I'd like to talk a little more in depth about taste. And so you were on the committee last year,
yes,
and we're gearing up now, getting organized for this year. So, you know, what was your impression? What was really the highlights of the evening?
Well, there were a number. So first, being on the committee, it afforded me the opportunity to go around to different restaurants in the area that specialized in ethnic food and ask them to participate, which gave me the opportunity to try out their food in their restaurants before the actual event. So we had a mix of different countries represented, and it ranged from Indonesia to Peru to Italy. There were just restaurants that prepared foods of the cuisines of all over the world. So what happens at the event is the people who come have an opportunity to taste. You get a small portion of the food from each of the booths from the restaurants that the restaurants have set up. And you can taste as many times as you would like. So if you find one particular thing that you really like, you can keep going back. But it's a wonderful time to try all different kinds of food, which makes it really exciting.
Yeah, yeah. Very social event.
Very social. Another highlight of last year was we had an auction, and there were items auctioned off. We had a live auction last year. This year we're going to have a silent auction and a live auction, and it's another way of us to do some fundraising. But there were a lot of items donated by local businesses, and also particularly items from different countries, so that you could purchase. I'm not sure what the items will be this year, but we had photographs and jewelry and items of clothing that a lot of them came from or were representative of different countries around the world. We also had entertainment, and there was music last year, and I believe there will be music again this year. Maybe you could speak to that, Diane.
Sure. I do want to give a plug. We have a very generous donation that had come in this week from Mirror Lake Inn. So with our live auction, our big prize this year is going to be a 2-night, inclusive of breakfast, package to Mirror Lake Inn. So if you've not been there, it is fabulous. And so you can come to our event and bid on that particular item if you want. I also want to give a plug, if time allows, for a couple of our other sponsors. Mango Tree, Capital Region Language Centers, and Top Custom Jewelers have all come on as sponsors this year. And so I want to thank them for their support. This, as Mary said, is our top educational initiative fundraiser for the year. So much that we try to accomplish during the year comes with very little funding. So
Yes.
we always are in that mode of trying to raise funds for ourselves, just to kind of keep the organization going, the doors open, and really expanding our opportunities and collaborations within the community. In regards to music, last year we had a sitar and a
Yes.
drum, and that was great.
Right.
And so we hope to have them back again. And then we're going to have bagpipes this year. So we kind of
Oh,
felt
great.
So I think we'll do it at the beginning, because if it gets too loud, people go, oh, so maybe we'll initiate the event with the bagpipes. We have really decided we're going to concentrate a lot of our restaurants this year on the Central Avenue bid. And so I would assume most people know what a bid is. It's a business improvement district. And so these, 6 or 7 blocks in downtown Albany, they have something like 79 different ethnic restaurants represented. And so we were approached that since we're having the event at the Linda, and it's in that same neighborhood, could we not support some of these newer restaurants, these entrepreneurial pursuits?
It's going to be hard to choose.
Yeah.
We certainly can't fit in 79 restaurants at the
Wouldn't that be a
Linda.
great problem to have, though?
It would be, yes. I think last year it was more around 10.
Yeah.
It will be hard to choose of 79 to whittle it down to 10, but it was all delicious, and I'm sure it will be again this year.
Yeah.
The other thing that was at the event last year there were wine tastings, and that different wineries came and offered tastes of their wine as well. And there was a brewery too, if I remember. Will they be coming this year?
Yeah, so last year we had a Chatham Brewery, and that was great, and we had 4 New York State vintners. So this year we're planning on doing the same with the wine, like Dr. Frank and Brotherhood, which is the oldest winery in the country. And then we have been Albany Pump Station, I should say, has approached us, and they would like to be part of the event. And so we'll probably have 2 microbreweries there. So
that would be
we'll have
great.
international food and local beverage, which is great.
Well, it's nice that all of the businesses that are local are supporting our efforts, that we bring visitors from all over the world come to Albany and learn about Albany, learn about upstate New York, and but we learn from them about their home countries. So it's a wonderful collaboration and learning process. And here we at this event we're offering a small cultural taste of different countries to all the population of Albany, and I hope that everybody can come and enjoy and taste all that wonderful food and try the great wines that we have right here in Albany.
There you go. So please mark your calendar. The event is taking place on Thursday, March 26th from 5:30 to 8 p.m. at the Linda, which is WAMC's public performance space in Albany. If you have questions or you want to purchase tickets are $50, and you can give us a call at 708-7608 or visit us on the web, www.iccralbany.org, or you can email us at info@iccralbany.org. Thank you so much. Mary, thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Diane.
Hello again. For our second segment today, we're going to be talking to a couple individuals who are associated with Christian Brothers Academy. And why we invited them here was to talk about another initiative we're offering this spring called Academic World Quest. So our first person I'd like to introduce is Jenifer Gish. She's an English teacher there and really a tremendous supporter of all these wonderful extracurricular activities that the cadets can participate in at CBA. Hello, Ms. Kish.
Hello, thank you for inviting us here today.
Of course.
We started getting involved with World Quest last year. It was a great opportunity. We had 4 guys who stepped right up and jumped right in, did a lot of preparation, and were very successful last year. We have a lot of other activities we offer at the school that are similar in terms of academics. We have a masterminds team, which we started this year. We have a mock trial team. So there's lots of opportunities for students to get involved at a competitive academic level.
Do you mind just taking a minute and tell us about CBA? So CBA is participating in World Quest, but what about the school? How many kids go there? Exactly where it's located?
We have approximately 400 students in grades 6 through 12.
Okay.
It is a private Christian school with a focus on Catholic faith. We have a JROTC program that has just strengthened over the last couple of years. And we are located on Airline Drive right near Albany County Airport in the town of Colonie.
Great. Thank you so much. And our second guest today is Johnny Woods. And I can call him Johnny because the International Center relies so much on volunteers for us to accomplish what we try to do. And Johnny is one of our volunteers. So welcome, Johnny.
Thank you.
We're thrilled to have you here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. Could you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about that.
I am a senior right now at Christian Brothers Academy. I was elected to Vice President of Student Council. I'm also a Eucharistic minister. I was chosen to be the drum major of the regimental marching band, and that's very important because out of all the kids who are in the band, only 2 are chosen to lead it, and I feel like it's very important for me to be in that position because I can relay a lot back to the kids that I'm actually like the kids that I lead. Mm-hmm. And I think it's important for me to give back to the school that kind of brought me up from freshman year because I want to see it be in a better spot when I leave than when I got there.
Oh, what a great perspective. That's one thing I have to say about CBA. It promotes leadership. It expects the boys to step up and take on some level of responsibility.
Yeah, I agree. With the like our color guard and our drill team, like it really does teach you how to be more of a leader than just a student.
Well, that's great. Mm-hmm. That's great. Thank you for being here. So we're here to talk about World Quest. So I should introduce this as it's a flagship national program. So we're just one of about 92 different regions who are preparing teams to go. And this is only our second year doing this. Each year, the U.S. State Department chooses 10 categories, 10 areas of study, and they ask high school students to create teams of 4, sometimes with an alternate just in case, and then to have an academic coach. And so over a 4 or 5 month period, we ask those teams to prepare. They're given study guides on those 10 different subject matters, and then we'll pull them together in a regional capacity. That also is happening on Saturday, March 21st, from 9 to about 1 o'clock, and we're doing that at the Celtic Hall at 430 New Carner Road in Latham or Colonie. And so CBA has jumped on board last year. Again, this was our first year, and Miss Kish, who was their academic coach, academic advisor for this, said sure. And I didn't have to convince her too much because she's so involved with so many activities at the school. And so tell us about last year's experience preparing for World Quest.
Last year, we were fortunate enough to have 4 young men who really stepped right up to the plate to take advantage of this opportunity. We had students in grades 9 through 11. We didn't have any seniors on the team, and they performed so well. They worked very well as a team, and in practices, we're really working hard to make sure that they were on top of the topics that they chose out of the selections.
How hard was it?
From my perspective, it wasn't nearly as hard as what the team members had to do, because it's a lot of information to read through and then to remember the facts and then under pressure to come up with the correct answer. So in the time that we had from when we set up the team to the competition, it was amazing how much they managed to remember and pull together.
That's great. That's great. The competition is broken up into those 10 categories, and there were 10 to 12 questions per category, and it was multiple choice. Do you remember how much time you were given per question last year? About a minute?
I feel like it was a minute, and then we found, or the people keeping track found that it didn't take each team that long, and then I think it was cut down.
Okay. So it goes rather quickly.
It does.
Yeah, yeah. So now, Johnny, last year you were on the team? This
Yes, I
year
was.
you're on a team?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, very cool. Now, are you the team leader this year?
I wouldn't say I'm the team leader, but I feel like I definitely would have some expertise because this is my second year doing it, and especially because social studies is just something that I really like.
That's great. Now, do you mind sharing with the audience the 10 categories the State Department chose?
No problem. The 2014-2015 topics are Russia and Eurasia, youth, jobs, and social unrest, food and water, future of energy, Africa rising, the human trafficking industry, Asia and the new global economy, Millennium Development Goals 2015 and beyond, great decisions, and current events.
Wow. Now, do you have a couple categories you're going to be kind of the subject matter expert for?
Well, the categories that I look at, and also 2 categories that I feel like I have some interest in, are social unrest and human trafficking.
And how's the studying going?
It's kind of difficult because there is, like Ms. Kish said, there's a lot of material that you do have to go over, but I enjoy it, so I like reading it every night. I like making questions of it. I like relaying the information like back to my mom, and she'll ask me questions, and it's really fun. It really is fun.
Thank goodness for moms, you know.
Yep.
Now, you've chosen 2 kind of heavy subjects.
Yeah.
I assume you've probably learned quite a bit.
Yeah, going in, I was definitely kind of blindsided because I didn't think there was definitely going to be this much information at all, especially with social unrest due to everything that's been happening in the past year, like with ISIS and Russia. There's just a lot that I have to take in, but I really do think it's worth it because I'm learning a lot about the world right now.
And I would assume it probably engages you to want to stay current with world affairs,
Yes.
global affairs.
Yep. I see myself watching CNN every morning when I wake up.
That's good.
Yep. And it does help you out. Like if you watch all the news networks, you do pick up a couple of things that are in your topics.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yep.
Good for you. That's great.
Thank you.
So now, how many teams does CBA have? How many are you preparing for?
So far, we're preparing 2, and
Okay.
I'm working on possibly a 3rd. I have a couple more students who are interested in participating.
That's great. And what grades?
9 through 12.
Oh, okay.
So it's a wide range, and I found especially through masterminds that because it's so subject area based, that we have some students who are stronger in one subject area than in another, and it's worked out really well in terms of putting together different teams with different strengths.
Gotcha. Very cool. What are your strategies? Can you share any of those? Why is CBA going to win? How you win, and what are your strategies?
What we did last year was I created 10 questions for each category. And then we did a practice run through of how my understanding was of how the process was actually going to work. This year, I decided to have the guys write their own questions from their topics, and then within the next month or so, we'll spend more time having meetings, and then we'll practice the questions that they wrote, because then it gives them the experience of reading through the material, then writing it down, so it helps them remember the material that they're learning, and then they'll be able to test each other.
Do you find that strategy a little more enabling you to be prepared this year?
Yeah, I agree, because the 10 question part of it, definitely, because spot on to what there actually is on the day of the World Quest, because there's really no preparation for it unless you're doing something very similar. And the 10 questions, I really do feel that is very similar, because with the pressure of having 4 options and you have 50 to 60 seconds to choose it, it really does prepare you for it mentally.
That's great.
Yep.
So we'll just fast forward. So it's March 21st, and hypothetically, one of your CBA teams wins. So off you go. You'd go to Washington in April to compete in the national competition, and you'd be representing this region of New York State, which is about 23 counties, a lot of responsibility. So I'm just curious, if you do win, what other activities do you think that you or the boys would want to do while you were in the nation's capital?
I think we have so many different interests on the team. I know that some of the guys are interested in serving in the armed forces. One of our team members is looking to go to the Naval Academy. So anything that's government related, military related, to see a lot of the memorials, I think would mean a lot to the boys, especially being a JROTC school, and it would bring a lot of the material that they learn in the classroom to life. And also there are so many museums that are in the Washington area that I know I haven't seen, and a lot of our students haven't seen, so it would be kind of interesting, again, to move from seeing something in a book or watching a video or hearing a teacher teach a lesson, that they can actually see certain artifacts and again, make that come to life.
Very cool. How about you, Johnny, if you ended up being able to go to Washington?
I would personally want to see the Vietnam Veteran Wall.
Very nice.
That's definitely something, because I've always wanted to see it, because I have family that served in the armed forces, and not that they passed, but I would like to pay my respects to people who fought for our country.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you. So any last words or strategies on Academic World Quest?
A lot of practice and a lot of reading. It really will pay off in the end if you read a lot.
Can I ask you what you plan on studying in college? It sounds like you like social studies.
I'm looking at liberal arts. I'm also looking at mortuary science, and I'm also looking at political science.
So lots of options.
Yep, keeping my options open.
Very good, very good. Ms. Kish, do you want to say anything about CBA? Any other upcoming activities or events that are happening at the school that you'd like to discuss?
There's constantly something going on at the school. There are so many opportunities for our students, both academically and athletically. We have several competitions that are going on in terms of our masterminds team. We also have a math league that started this year. Mock trial will be starting up. Our sports teams are still in action, so there's always something going on.
Very cool. Now I know from little birdie told me that the CBA band might be going to New York for St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, ma'am.
And so what's the responsibility of marching in that?
Well, when we're down in New York City, our job is always to keep the face of CBA looking very pristine, very nice, very mature. And also it's just to go down there and have a fun time while we're marching down, because the band always loves to play. Like, we always love to play. That's why we're in it. That's why we're such a dedicated group of musicians, and that's why we're so close. And it's definitely just going to be fun to be down there with the guys.
That's great. Hopefully the weather will cooperate for you.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you get a chance, you'll all have to go to New York and see CBA march in the St. Patrick's Day Parade. So thank you very much. I appreciate you taking the time. I know you scooted here right after school, so I appreciate you taking the time to talk about Academic World Quest. And good luck. Good luck with the competition.
Thank you.
Before we close this episode, I wanted to go over a couple other exciting initiatives that the International Center is involved in this coming spring. The first one is happening on Valentine's Day, February 14th, from 9 to 4. We're going to be doing a tour, and it's called Sacred Spaces. You know, so much that's going on in this world, so much conflict, misunderstanding, miscommunication. It's scary sometimes to watch the news. The intent of this particular tour or field trip is to go and visit different places of worship. And so we're going to be going to the Hindu temple on Albany Shaker Road. We'll be visiting the new mosque on Troy Schenectady Road. We're going to head over to Watervliet. We're going to visit the Armenian church, the Ukrainian church. We'll be going over to Troy and visiting St. Joseph's with their beautiful Tiffany windows in the part of South Troy that church was built a long time ago by Irish immigrants. conference. And then we'll be going over to Albany, and we're going to be visiting St. Peter's Episcopal Church right on State Street. That's the big one, a beautiful church that was designed by Henry Hobson Richardson. And we'll be visiting the cathedral. We'll spend about 45 minutes at each of these locations. It's just a wonderful opportunity to go into places of worship. You know, you might have passed them while you're driving and say, gosh, I wonder what it's like inside. Well, this will give you that opportunity. Again, that event is happening on Saturday, February 14th from 9 to 4 p.m. And the other nice thing, having it on Valentine's Day, we'll be giving out sweet treats as the day progresses. So you can nibble your way, probably a lot of local products, chocolates and sweets and so forth, as we visit these sacred spaces. The second piece that we're working on, and that we'd like community involvement, is on March 8th. And it's International Women's Day. You know, we don't do very much in the Capital Region to celebrate this pretty significant date. First International Women's Day occurred in 1909, and it happened because of a garment industry issue down in New York City. And it seems that it was celebrated for a number of years, and then it's kind of left our shores. If you look on the internet or you look in the news, all sorts of countries and cities around the world celebrate International Women's Day. So we felt it was really our time. As the state capital here in Albany, we should recognize the day and celebrate the achievement of women locally and internationally. Each year the UN sponsors or assigns a theme. So this year it's Make It Happen. So what does that mean? How do we interpret that? And so we've created an ad hoc committee, which we'd love you to be part of if you're interested. And we're going to be doing an event probably in Albany on March 8th. Sage College has donated space, so we're getting our thoughts together and starting to meet as committees and subcommittees of our ad hoc committee. So if you're interested, even maybe just coming to the event, mark it down. Sunday, March 8th, and we're going to be doing something from 2 to 5 p.m., probably at the Sage campus in downtown Albany. Again, just when that date arrives, remember all of the contributions and really all the strides that women have made, and then how much more we can accomplish when we work together. So on behalf of the International Center of the Capital Region, the Town of Colonie, Colonie TV, and the residents of the town, I want to thank you for this opportunity to once again start thinking globally. Thank you so much.